know that we occasionally dabble into angels, um, and came across one that I'm really excited about, so wanted to share with you. As it is, I just received it, so just got it. I actually posted on a Facebook group that I was looking for a pair of grips. I was looking for a pair of dye LCD grips, and I Google imaged and found a picture, put the picture up and said, hey, I'm looking for these grips. And somebody posted, hey, that's actually my angel of the picture that I found. It's sitting in front of me. And I was like, oh, okay. And he also said he might have a pair of grips. So I started, trading messages with him about picking up grips. And then I said, hey, just off chance, like, is that angel available? And he's like, hey, I actually have a bunch of projects. I wouldn't mind moving one. And long story short, he was actually, I'm from New York. He lived in Connecticut. I was actually driving through Connecticut, and I said, hey, can we meet up and I'll just pick it up from you? And sure enough, we did. So, Cobra, Mamba IR3. Very cool, very sweet. Definitely been played with. It is in rough shape. If I were a gambling man, I would gamble that the person that used this was definitely a tournament player. It's been well used. I mean, we got some scratches back here, all along the lower tube, a couple on the breech. A lot of wear. But I love it. Like, I believe paintball markers are meant to be played with. They're not wall hangers. So I'm really excited about this. I think it's really cool, and I'm going to make this my personal shooter. This is going to be when I don't use an autococker, when I'm playing electro, this is going to be my shooter. So we have a long way to go before this is actually something that I want to use on the field. A couple of things we're going to handle. We're going to get rid of this frame, get a different frame. This is an IR3, but it has an LCD frame, and it has, I actually don't know what the electronics are on it. I thought it was a PM7 mod, but it's not. It's something different, a different kind of board. It's been drilled for eyes, obviously, so it's not a restoration. I'm not trying to get it back to original. I'm just trying to get it to something that I feel comfortable using on the field. So going to have to do a couple different things. We have these really not very attractive ball detents, two different eye covers, and they were not installed all that great. They could definitely be better on the body. I don't like this feed neck. Obviously the die breech knob doesn't really fit with anything. And then this is like this honeycomb macro line fitting is just a disaster. So electronically it's sound. The solenoid clicks. The eyes work. Eyes do work, which is cool. It's on full auto right now, so you turn the eyes off. Burst mode or something, but yeah. Seam sound, solenoid clicks. So gonna pick up some parts. That's the first thing. Let's hunt down some parts. And then it's got this big jam bolt thing. Not a big fan of that. It's spring loaded. Don't know what type that is. Does have a cool stainless steel hammer on the ram in there. He told me, the previous owner of Flat told me that the internals, he was having an LPR issue with it. So I'm going to have the whole thing rebuilt. Probably going to send it off to my friend Bob and have him rebuild that stuff on the inside. And then I'm going to get some parts anodized, and I'm going to try to get this thing back up to looking pretty sweet and shooting pretty sweet as well. So this is just kind of first glimpse. I'm excited to get this one done. I've always wanted one of these. Cool, man. Hope you like it. Show you how it goes.
Alright, so quick little update here. So I found some more information about what all happened with this Mamba before I ever got it. And basically when I'm doing a project, I kind of try to find inspiration by Googling, images of the marker that I'm rebuilding, and kind of, finding ideas and seeing what looks good with other parts and stuff like that. So I Googled, Mamba IR3, and kept finding these type of images of, Mamba IR3s that look very similar to mine. And these images are actually the Mamba that I own, in different types of configurations. So a lot of these are really old photos, and when you click them, it takes you to the PB Nation thread, and they're dead links, so they don't show up. But one of them that does show up is this version right here. And I removed I made sure I didn't, I left off the guy's name of the post because I didn't want him to get all blown up or anything like that. But this is definitely my Mamba. Dead giveaways are, in addition to just looking like it, the IntelliFeed port at the top, obviously drilled for eyes, the CP ball, the tenths, and the feed neck are all exactly like the one that I had. And these other posts are from the exact same user. So this is one configuration that he had while he was the owner with this die UL frame, and then he went back to the cap single trigger frame that we had on it, that was on it when we got it. And the owner that I got it from had originally showed me pictures of it with this black die VASA. And then if you look down this corner, it has the die VASA on it, the cap frame with the die grips, and then it also has the matching mini reg and VASA that's on it right now. So this mom has been through a lot. This, like, I guess it's kind of cool, but to me it looks a little ridiculous with the UL frame. But teach their own. And in one of the posts, and I couldn't go back and find it, but in one of the posts, the owner has a quote from, I believe it was Brad Maughan or somebody from Dynasty, claiming that this was in fact a Dynasty owned Mamba. So it was a PB Nation quote inserted in a post. So I take it with a grain of salt. But I will say this: given the wear and the high usage of this particular Angel, I wouldn't doubt it. Like, I honestly, I don't doubt that it was Dynasty owned, but like I said, who knows really? PB Nation threads from a decade ago. I think it was like 2003, the one with the quote. So just doing a little digging, just kind of found the history of it to be pretty interesting. But I really don't care. Like, I'm never going to sell it, so I'm not going to put it up as, Dynasty owned Mamba IR3. But it very well could have been. I think it's kind of cool. But just interesting to see what this has been through, and now we're going to try to get back for us to rip with it. So just a little brief update. Thought it was kind of cool while the marker's out for ano right now. Not anodizing the body, but getting some stuff match anodized to it. So just quick. What's up, guys? So back here with some parts that I was able to source for the Mamba. When it gets back from ano, we can start putting it together. I was able to find actually brand new eye covers, because I don't know if you noticed in the original video that the eye covers are mismatched. One of them is branded Eclipse and one of them is just generic. So I was able to find two brand new generic ones. So that'll be cool that they'll match and be new. I can get them, lined up right and all that stuff. I was able to find, this thing is practically brand new, an A4 soft face bolt. I mean, really good shape. A little bit of wear on it, but nothing major. I mean, this thing has not seen a lot of shots. So that's cool, because the Mamba came with this very weird jam bolt that I'm not excited to use at all. So I was glad I found that. Found this cool. I was going back and forth about what ASA to use. I found this cool, relatively recent. I think this is like an 05, 06, so not recent at all actually. It's like 15 years old. But found the T-slot rail and then this Eclipse ASA that's blue. Got a blue knob, so I think that'll look pretty sweet on it. Found a blue plastic breech knob. Finding a Mamba, or I'm sorry, finding a Cobra breech knob is probably gonna be impossible, but I still thought it was cool to find, clear blue. I think that'll look pretty decent on it. And then this, I was really excited to find. Was really unsure what kind of trigger I was gonna use on this. You know, Cobra. I was able to find a couple of Cobra Fang triggers, but to be frank, I just don't really like them. The ones I found were all silver, and I just never really loved the trigger. So when I found this black element trigger, I think it's going to look really sweet on it, and I think it's just a great trigger. It's different from a lot of triggers, LCD triggers, in that this portion back here is wider. So controlling the kind of the wiggling in the back, it fits really tightly, and it just, like I said, it looks sweet, feels good. I was really happy I was able to find this. Buddy of mine had it last second, and actually was able to trade him some parts to find it. He probably got the better of the deal, but these are hard to find, and they're one of the only like LCD triggers that you can find in gloss black, and I really want to keep everything as much black and blue as I can possibly find. So I was like really excited to find this. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to look great. And then the other thing I found that was kind of cool, as I was sourcing everything, I found this. This is a brand new unopened LCD rebuild kit. So the LCD and IR3 share a lot of parts. Originally, I was going to send the Mamba out to get everything rebuilt, but that was mostly because I, thought that sourcing seals was going to be a pain in the butt. So when I found this, I jumped on it, because the stuff that carries over from the LCD, there's a lot of stuff there, but the main things that I was really concerned about with this particular Angel were the cup seal, the LPR, and the mini reg. And this has all the seals to fully rebuild those. Because those are identical from LCD to IR3. They share cup seal, they share, the LPR, and the mini reg is the same. So now I'll be able to rebuild everything without having to send it out, which is cool. The RAM, I'm counting on the RAM being good. If not, that might have to go out for a rebuild. But I was really excited to find this. It's got everything. It's got all the seals, to rebuild those key parts that I mentioned, the LPR, mini reg, and the cup seal there. So, looking forward to it. Just waiting on it getting back from Anno. So, but until then, that's it.